Okay, so today's agenda would be like in the automation, we have four automations are available, four automation tools: workflow,
Mm-hmm.
approval process, process builder, and
Mm-hmm.
flows. But
Okay.
right now, what Salesforce is doing, they are eliminating all the three above one: workflow, approval process, and process builder. And
Mm-hmm.
they are just saying that please move to the flows, because all the threes are now uh, available
How
in the
did
flow itself.
so available in the flow itself? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So
And
that is for LWC?
huh?
No, that is the one LWC.
No, not LWC.
Okay, because why I asked this question, now everything is moving towards the LWC now.
That's a development level work.
Oh, development level. Okay.
Yeah. LWC Lightning Web Components, where we have it's lightweight, and if you heard of the Aura,
Aura, yeah.
yeah. So Aura is also a lightweight, but it take much time. But yeah, LWC is more lightweight.
Okay.
So that's a development, and flows would be for the admin. Like admin cannot develop anything, so flows would be help in there.
Admins. Okay.
Yes, and there is one more automation tool which we call triggers, but triggers come under the development.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we need to write code in there. That's why I didn't include in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why we need automation? Because like we want to, we do not want to manually do steps by ourselves. And why we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do, because one or two, or let's suppose 10 you can do by it yourself, but if something are bigger than that, and if you want to perform some calculations, or if you want to create an account which relate to another account, and that relate to another account, and they are performing some calculations, so you
Mm-hmm.
cannot do manually by yourself. It is time taken, correct?
Yeah.
So that's why the automation
If
helps
it is
here.
a one-time process, we can do. If it is a repeating process, the
Yes.
automation option.
Correct, correct. Like if you have created any Excel sheet and there are 10,000 record, and in the 10,000 record some fields where sales are available and lots of data and lots of calculation. So that that Excel sheet you can load in a one go with the automation tool, and
Mm-hmm.
you can perform any action if you want. And
Okay.
how you can load that comes under the data loader. We will look into the next session where we actually deal with the data. Okay.
Okay. So this automation also will be done by the admin person, not a
Yeah,
developer.
this is actually done by the admin person, but like in my current project, I do that also. Like I do both
Okay.
admin and as a developer. So for
Oh, perfect.
developer must know about admin part and development part. So admin just
Okay.
need to have idea about the automation.
Yeah, the question is the for this automation, do you need required coding knowledge, JavaScript, something like
No,
that?
not
Or
coding knowledge, just like the flow chart. If you heard of the flow charts,
yeah,
so
projects.
you must know about the flow chart. If it starts, then what sign you will do, what decision you will make. On the basis of that decision, what action you
Mm-hmm.
will perform, and on that action, what you want to do, either insert, either send an email or some kind of actions, and then you will
Mm-hmm.
end that flow. So this you must
Oh,
know about the flow chart.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
why we called it as the workflow and flows and this processes.
Approval process builder. Okay.
Yes, and if we like if for workflow now,
Mm-hmm.
in the flow chart, it allows only one condition in there. One condition, it means like you can only create a single decision in there itself, and then an action. That's it. It means like only three steps you can perform.
Workflow. Okay.
Yes, and it when it trigger, whenever your record has some values get updated or get
Mm-hmm.
created, a record is
Mm-hmm.
created, updated, or get deleted,
Mm-hmm.
then your workflow would be trigger but. in that case, your particular record, whether it is inserting or whether it is updating or whether it is deleting, it
Mm-hmm.
fetch some field in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on the field itself, it matches the value, whether it is, let's suppose your field retrieves amount. Okay, so if your
Mm-hmm.
amount is greater than 100, then you
Mm-hmm.
can send an email to the client that your amount is much higher as expected, so your deal is done. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and if your, let's say, if amount is less than 10 in
Mm-hmm.
your opportunity object, so it's like it will not generate any revenue to your company. So
Mm-hmm.
you can send an email to the customer that your amount is very low, so we cannot deal with you, or we cannot create an opportunity for you.
Mm-hmm.
So this can be done easily via workflow.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so this is the where the
So
entry
it will
criteria
trigger
is.
it will trigger only the emails. It will send only the email notifications.
Not on the email, it has some four
Mm-hmm.
four actions it can performs.
Okay, what are those actions?
And this will be come in this style, these four
Oh,
actions.
okay. Okay.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay, so and so we must need to provide some entry criteria, otherwise
Mm-hmm.
this workflow will not be proceed. So entry
Okay.
criteria, just
So,
I like said, amount or whatever you can punch in any entry criteria.
okay, the criteria, whatever you said, if the amount is greater than 10, trigger the email notification or
Yes.
email.
Hmm.
So, like that, conditions, how many criteria we can add for
So
the same workflow?
yeah, in a single condition you can add two three criterias, but in a only single condition, like for after sending an action, there is it does not allow to perform any other action.
Okay.
Okay.
See, some of the see, I want a trigger notification or email based on the six or seven conditions.
Hmm.
If satisfies, if it is not satisfy five condition, even one condition, the mail should not trigger.
Yes,
So,
the
like
mail.
that, also we can do it.
Yes, yes. The mail we
Oh,
or either you can like if the condition doesn't meet the entry condition, then the
okay.
flow would not be get processed. It will
Mm-hmm.
not gonna run. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to see? We are going to see any example of this?
I can show you the demo by tomorrow because it's like almost 10:51 here, and we'll
Yeah, no
cover.
problem. Take your
Okay.
time whenever. If you want to start our class, even 9:30 or sorry, around 10 also, I'm fine with that.
Okay, okay. Then I will reschedule if I can make it
No,
possible.
if you want.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Like I can reschedule to 10, or if I'm available, then I can reschedule it.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay. So yes, here the record, if we have any change, make change or insert any record, the workflow will be fired, and only if the criteria would be met, then it will either create a record, and the record is created, or the record is edited. It will
Uh-huh.
check all these conditions, and on the
Uh-huh.
basis of that, it meets the
Uh-huh.
criteria. Okay, and the
Mhm.
criteria
Okay.
meets whatever the action we have just chosen in the workflow, that get
Uh-huh.
triggered, that get successfully to the client, or whatever the actions you perform, that get
Okay.
successfully done.
Got it.
So this is, and now you are asked about the what are the four actions. So you can create a task on the Salesforce itself. You can
Uh-huh.
send email. You can change any field value, and you can send any outbound messages. And task is nothing, just an object available in Salesforce. So you can create a record for there. You can create a record. And email is like there are some email templates by default available in Salesforce, and
Hmm.
then you can use that email template to send to your client, and you can create new email templates also in Salesforce
Mhm.
as your requirement. Okay.
Okay, got it. So just I want to understand the task. For example, if some criteria is satisfied, it will trigger the task to the user or role or record man owner, saying that can you please action this
Yes, definitely. Like in the account, let's suppose an opportunity amount is just get updated. So
mhm,
like while we are creating a workflow, we are
mhm,
creating an action. So on the
mhm.
task itself, it asks us to whom we need to give that task.
Okay.
Okay, so we can assign based on the user or the role. So whoever, like suppose they are a manager role, so you can assign that role. So whatever the manager, whoever the managers are available, they can action make any actions to this task, or the record owner itself, if you have doesn't allow any, it didn't give any honor to him, so by default the record owner.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and email alerts, told you that for that we can create custom event, custom email also, and Salesforce email also.
Okay.
Okay, and field update is like whenever you're whenever you created, let's suppose I have created just an account, and
Mhm,
on that account I need to update a field which takes from account itself.
mhm,
So let's suppose a field in account is application. Okay, so and in application there are 10 applications you entered there. Okay,
mhm,
and in that account itself, which says it's a field which says applications vacancy. Okay, so if 10 is the fullest, you can have only at most 10, then the application vacancy field will automatically get updated with the empty or the full, whatever the requirement. So you can make change to the account which is getting inserted, or make change to any other record which is not related to account, but they are available in Salesforce, let's suppose in contact or in any opportunity, so you can update field there also.
okay, got it.
Got it. Like overview, you can update any fields on any object, not only on account, like on different object also.
Mhm,
And outbound message is like when you want to send a message to a third party. Third party
okay,
means which is not working in Salesforce, but it uses Salesforce, so you can send a message to third party that yes, we received your claim, received your opportunity, we have created uh, we have created an account for you, and whatever the message you want to send, you can send to the third party applications. So this is how
okay.
outbound message works.
So here I can see a lot API and SOAP message.
Yes,
So API is like Salesforce will have their own APIs, or they use any third party APIs.
when your third party is coming in using your Salesforce, they create an application. They will like how they will contact in Salesforce, how they will connect with Salesforce. So there are some like client ID, token ID. So using that, an API will be fired by Salesforce itself or via a SOAP.
Okay,
Okay,
I
this
don't
is
know what exactly the
this is
SOAP is.
this is like development. I will tell you later in the when we're using the integration,
Okay,
Salesforce integration.
got it. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so now you give me one or two examples of this workflow action will be created. Which are the situations? Like one you said that lead generation, opportunities. Like what are the other areas we are using this workflow?
Uh, like based on the requirement, like I said, if you are whenever your opportunity get
Mhm.
updates, okay, so it amounts, get update, let's suppose. Okay, so amount, if it's greater than 1,000, then the workflow will be fire. Not on the opportunity itself. Let's suppose there a custom object you created, and on
Uh-huh.
that custom object, if anything, uh, uh, I don't think this is a good example, but
No,
mm,
whatever you are feeling is a good one or comfortable, you can tell me that.
mm,
Because I don't have much clear idea about. I know
eh,
that opportunities. Once you have created any opportunities, if opportunity is value is amount of the value is less than this or number of values less than this, the
mhm.
email will not trigger. If more than that, the email will trigger. That is a good
Yes.
idea. It will get to the agents so they can go and pitch into that sales. But what are the other area we will create workflow other than opportunities?
Okay, so let's suppose some candidates are hired
Mhm.
in your company. Okay,
Okay.
so who will hire? The recruiter one will be hired those candidates. Okay,
Yes.
so let's suppose there is a object recruiter in your Salesforce. Okay, so
Mhm.
what it will do? It will update his field. Let's suppose number of candidate is a field available in recruiter objects. So
Mhm.
whenever it gets more than 10, it means like the recruiter task is done.
Mhm.
Okay, so whenever the recruiter update its field more
Mhm.
than 10, the workflow will be triggered, and a task
Mhm.
will be created for manager.
Bad. Okay.
So, and why we are creating a task for manager? To look into that those records of
Mhm.
recruiter who hired the candidates, the 10
Mhm.
candidates. Okay, so he can check the position, or he can mark them that whether they are good for their company or not. So from this would be an example to like for the task.
Okay. Okay. Here I have a question. So
Hmm.
for the same example, I can create a three, four tasks for a different persons. For example, as you said, if there is a 10
Greater
CV,
than 10.
recruiter has picked the 10 CV, my
Hmm.
email will go to the 10 as per the condition to the manager.
Hmm.
Okay. So the next step, if manager go through all those 10 CVs and they
Hmm.
have selected two or three candidates, the criteria will selected three candidates, and there will be one more email trigger to the HR manager to check background verification of those candidates. We can do the same workflow to task.
No, no, for that we need to create a different workflow, because we are now, if in the first flow, we are creating a task for manager. Now
Okay.
the manager using the different object will use the different object, not the recruiter one. It's like
So,
it's
yeah,
actually depend on the how your application it works.
uh,
You are it's saying would be possible, but it depends like if they have created a separate object, so for each object we need to create a separate workflow.
okay, okay, I got it.
Okay,
Okay,
so
we can go to the
shall I
next
move to
slide.
the next slide?
Yeah, yeah, please, please.
Okay, now approval process. So
Mm-hmm.
now we have sent the candidates to the manager, whether he wanna approve it or not. So here comes the approval process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in this way, like there could be multiple steps, like manager approved it and he sent it to the HR manager.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the higher authority one, and if he also approved, then
Mm-hmm.
uh, if he wants to, like there are multiple steps, then he can send this particular process to the next higher authority, and if there are only two steps, then he can directly approve all the candidates who are eligible. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not depend on the single step, like if I am the lowest level applicant, and I can send this approval to you and you can send it to another one. And if I give only one step, then I can approve by myself, no need of you. So in that
Mhm.
case, the approval process works.
Okay.
And like in the real time example, if I take the job application, okay.
Mhm.
So let's suppose five job applications are submitted, okay.
Mhm.
So now they have click on submitted for approval button, and this
Mhm.
approval comes to me. So I
Mhm.
just approve because five candidates are enough for me, so I just approved. And I
Mhm.
send this approve to my higher authority whether he is ready to approve or not, like these five candidates. So what
Mhm.
condition he will do? If the condition there would be like more than 10 he wanted, then
Mhm.
the rejection will be happen in there. Because though I have approved, because I just need only five candidates, but my manager wants more than 10 candidates, so automatically the criteria won't met for the manager, so the approval process won't go to the manager until and unless the particular criteria matches.
Mhm.
So in every each step there are some criterias available.
Mhm.
Okay,
Is there
so
any limitation for adding these criteria?
huh.
Is there any limitation for adding these criteria?
And there is no limit, like logically, like it says one or more steps, and it's logically split into six steps. So there,
Oh, six steps.
like, so yes, you can have one or more steps, and each in each step you can have multiple criteria.
Okay.
Okay, so
Split in.
it allows us more vast than workflow.
Okay.
Okay, and now how it will it's actually a flow. It will trigger. So whatever, first we need a button. So
Mhm.
how we can do that? So there is a button available in pages. Whenever you open any record in opportunity or account anywhere, a button is available for there. Submit for approval.
Mhm.
There would be a button. Okay, if it's not present in there, we need to. It's a admin part to check whether approval button is not available. So what will he will do? He will go to the page layouts which are present in object itself. Page layout is
Okay.
like where you can see all the record, all the field values, all the buttons are available for the particular record. So this is like how page layout looks.
Mhm.
Okay, so in that there is some submit for approval button in there. So whenever you click on there, uh, that approval process will be get triggered.
Mhm.
First, but for that, it will ask you whether you want to send approval to your manager, or so it asks some users when you are sending
Mhm.
approval. So to whom you want to send this approval.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can send the approval process to whoever you can give, and in that, so whenever your approval process get trigger, so
Mhm.
whatever the initial action you want to perform.
Mhm.
So like if I said a record, sent a record for approval, so
Mhm.
no other can make any changes to like 10 minutes are remaining. Okay, so we'll cover in that. So no one can change that particular record.
Mhm.
So we will don't allow anyone. So it would be an initial submission action, and approval process by default make that record logged. Okay, so that
Mhm.
no one can edit that record which is sent for approval. So this is one initial action. And second action you can add is like if I sent an account for approval, and then
Mhm.
what will I can do? I can change the status of on the account itself that it's submitted for approval status, or I can send an email to the customer that your account is been going for approval process, so please wait. So as this kind of stuff you can do in it initial submission.
Okay. So that there will be a what we call a there will be email trigger to this.
Yes, automatic email will be triggered there.
So it's a combination of workflow.
Yeah, yeah, it's a combination. Yeah, correct.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
And next, now the initial Excel performed, and it will
Mhm.
check that whatever the condition you have just given, your account name must be filled, or your account must have some context list available. So you can check those condition, or you can like check account, or on account any field is match any criteria. So you can set that criteria. So on the basis of that criteria, uh, like if I am the approval, I can approve it, or I can reject it, or I can recall it.
Mhm.
Okay, so if I, let's suppose if I approve that account,
Mhm.
so I can perform an action like again sending an email to that customer that your account is approved, or I
Mhm.
can change any field value on the account that this is approved. First, initially it was submitted for approval. Now, if I approved it, so it changes to approved.
Mhm.
Okay, so the field you can, and you can create a task also. So if your account is approved, and you have just created a task for the, like the manager that its account is approved, now create a contact for him.
Mhm.
So it's a task for the manager. So you can create any task.
Okay.
Okay. And if I rejected that, same things goes with the, like if I approved, so same thing goes to the customer email that your account is rejected, or any
Mhm.
the field value can be updated with in submitted for approval to rejection
Mhm.
or rejected, or you can create a task for the manager that this account is rejected, so please take a look into that. So same thing goes to the, and recall
Mhm.
action. So again same thing, recall action. So you can recall that record, and you can
Mhm.
send an action, or you can create a task, or you can send an email.
Okay. So in this each and every step, whether the person who is going to approve or recall or reject,
Mhm.
they can able to update any comments, their own
Mm,
comments on written.
uh, I think the record owner only can make any changes to the record. No, the approval cannot do to that record
Okay.
itself.
So the owner itself, they can create a tab somewhere. The person who is doing the step, whether it's a first step or second step or third step, they
Mm-hmm.
can. The owner can allow them to write some word test.
Can you repeat your question, please?
Okay, for example, you said that the owner has to
Yeah,
write any
any
comments.
make changes in its record, it's sent for approval. Yeah.
Okay, 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 fine. And when we are doing this practically,
Mm-hmm.
we check that time. Okay, now it's good. We can move to the next slide.
Okay, no worries. So parallel approval process. It's been like we are in the same team. Okay, let's suppose we are in the same team, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not available, but you are available. So you can
Oh, got
approve
it.
it. You can approve it. So no need to wait for like your approval or my approval.
Mhm.
This is one
But
thing.
anyone in team can approve it.
Yes, if it we assign it to a team. Okay, like
Assign to it.
it's saying automatic assigned to a queue. Queue is nothing, just lots of people are in there. So if I
Mm-hmm.
chose this radio button, I can go with the queue, and like multiple user, I can also add multiple users. So whoever the user not only in the same team, but they, if they are present in a different team, so I can choose multiple user. So whoever, but they like in the current real time scenario, they must be in the same designation, so that the approval would be correct. So you can allow users, different users, to
Mm-hmm.
approve, make it approve.
Got it.
Got it?
Got it. That's good.
And so email templates here. So
Mm-hmm.
told you that you can create an email template. So this can be used to, like, whenever your lead is generated via web, you can create a template, or whenever your case is generated via web, you can
Mm-hmm.
create an email template. So like by email itself, you can create an email template also. Email to
Mm-hmm.
case, like, it means like I have sent an email to you that I have some issues with that, so you can create an email template in that case also. And via assignment rule is, this will be cover, this will be like not in the current topic, but I will explain you in when we are dealing with the service cloud, because the case is come under the service cloud. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this is all comes under there.
Service cloud.
Okay, and auto response rule is nothing like, when I told you that whenever we sending an email or notification, so it's an auto response rules.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever anything updates, or whenever someone send an email, we just hit in back another email. So we are responding him automatically.
Okay. Okay.
That's, and this lightning process builder here comes. So in the process builder, like you can see in this image itself, uh, I can have multiple condition, marks greater than 10, an immediate action we can send, update a result value, or marks between 20 to 30, immediate action updates. So we can have multiple conditions in the flow itself.
Same workflow.
Yes, in the same workflow. It's a like advanced version of workflow.
Okay.
Okay, and not only immediate action, you can perform schedule action also.
Okay. So this workflow is drag and drop, or we have
No,
to.
no, workflow is not drag and drop.
Okay.
Workflow is classic journey type. You have to write it manually.
Or write it manually. So yeah, there's a code for this.
Huh? What?
You have to write a code.
No, not the code. You can go with. You can just. How can I show you?
Okay, when we are doing
Uh,
practical, we can you can show me.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I can show you in there. Mm, so yeah, if not only immediate action, we can perform a schedule action.
Oh.
Like we want to send a birthday wishes. So
Mhm.
we can trigger this process builder before 30 days, and whenever we reach to that particular day, it will automatically trigger that birthday wishes and send an email to your loved ones. Okay. So this is
Okay.
like schedule action. You can perform I can create any schedulable in there itself.
Okay. I think the class going to be end the Zoom call. So are we creating one more Zoom meeting now, or we can rejoin it, or you want to end
Next
it?
topic would be like use cases, and
Mm-hmm.
where we can use. So email, like we have already gone with the lots of examples. So these are the basic example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is how order of, like, how the automation works.